Hello, everybody at Key of Dayton. This is Deanna, your coach with Phone Ninjas, and today I'm going to be reviewing with you your reporting for the month of November. Overall, great job here with a 3.46. As you can see, that's a little bit of an increase from last month, so keep moving in this direction. We want to work towards getting everyone above a 4.0 now. That's our next goal. But wonderful, look at this right here, 65% appointment rate. We usually aim for a 60%, but almost everybody is at that point. So really great job with those appointments. As a team, what I want you to focus on is this closure step. We want to make sure that we're taking some time to sell our information using this script. We want to use the correct technique to ask for the customer's email address, and then we also want to reconfirm the appointment time and remind the customer to call if they're running early or running late for their appointment. So this is the step that I really want folks to hone in on, and we want to get this up to where the other steps are, well above a 3.0. Now we did see here when Stephen was reviewing his calls, he did mark that one of his customers showed up and one also purchased a vehicle. We want to make sure everyone is doing that. Out of all these appointments that we set, which let's see, it looks like we set, 4, 6, 10, 11. All right, so we set 13 appointments. We want to make sure for each of these appointments we're marking if the customer showed up and if they purchased a vehicle. And it's actually a really easy thing to do. If you click on this details link, I'm just using Kelly as an example. You just click on a call here. This next page that pops up is the page that's linked to the email that gets sent out when a call is coached. And after we review the call, we just want to go down here and mark, did they show up for their appointment? Did they sell the vehicle? And click submit. So that's just a neat thing for us to be able to see on this main page is if the customer showed up and if these phone ups are leading to sales at the dealership. All right, so one thing here you'll notice, all the calls have been reviewed in a timely manner. Fantastic job there. In addition to reviewing calls and getting that feedback, we also want to make sure that we're maintaining our certifications. We're looking pretty good here. Not each person, but almost everybody has just maybe 1 to 3 videos they need to watch. And this is just a check. We want to work on selling the appointment. This is just Junior as an example, the driving towards closure video that I talked about. Tentative appointments, if we don't set appointments, we can always use the tentative appointment technique to set appointments. But after we review calls, we always just want to double check on these certifications. It's going to uncertify the individual sales rep if they scored below a certain percentage on the call, and that's just a reminder to go back and get refreshed. All right, so let's take a look at some reports here. Let's see where you guys are ranked by score. Out of I think it's 236 dealerships, you guys are 68. So great job there. Now, I wish it showed what you guys were last month to compare it, but we can always go back and watch the old videos. But if you do want to just go through here and maybe find some other Martin folks, some people are competitive. I'm not, but we definitely don't want to play the comparison game, but sometimes that can be demotivating, but for some other people it can be motivating, so you just have to know our audience. But if you just want to go through and look for the other Martin folks and really work towards getting above being the number one Martin dealership, that's definitely a good goal to have. I think there's maybe 3 or 4 up here above you guys, but we do have our top 4 dealership contest. So every month we take our top 4 dealerships and we put them into a drawing, and then in January, so on January 2nd, we're going to have we'll have a drawing, and the winner will get a trip to Hawaii. So this one we have every year. So every month we take our top 4 dealerships, and once a year we pick a name from the hat. Now for the individual sales representatives, we have the perfect score contest. And so every time someone gets a perfect score, their name gets put into a hat. And at the end of the quarter, this is Q2, but this was actually Q3. This is just an error. But at the end of the quarter, we pick a name from the hat, and that individual wins a trip to Hawaii paid for by Phone Ninjas. And for every perfect score, you get put into the drawing. So you'll see if you go through here, there's some people who have multiple entries because they've had multiple perfect scores. So you'll see that right here. So the more they get, the more they get added, and the higher chance they have of winning a trip. So we've got that going on. And the last thing I want to look at was the advertising sources. So on every call, we always ask the customer, has your vehicle ever been serviced here before? And this lets you know how people are hearing about your dealership. You guys have a lot of people who are calling about radio ads. I think you guys had one that was like, $79 payments. I've heard a lot lately. So we do have that. Online. So when people say that they are online, let's try to get the specific source code. Were they Googling? Were they on Cars.com, Car Guru, Auto Trader? You did have a lot of people who just drove by your dealership, or they're familiar with your dealership. Just because they're from Huber Heights, they are aware of you guys, and so they're calling. We had 2 repeat customers and also a referral. This just speaks to the quality of service and the experience that people receive. And this is for the last 90 days. So in the last 90 days, you got 3 people who are coming to your dealership because someone had a great experience the first time. So good work there. And then we had 1 person who had who called because of an ad you had on television. So yeah, on every call we do want to ask the customer, how'd you hear about us? Or sometimes the customers offer it up, but we always want to make sure we wrap up the call by asking the customer, where did you see this vehicle advertised, or how'd you hear about our dealership? If you have any questions, feel free to email me or email me or call me or text me. My contact information is here at the top of the screen. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week.